Hello everyone, this is PK Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Take a look at the second trailer recently released and talk about whether it's the biggest movie within Marvel's Phase 5. Now there may be spoilers for all content within the Marvel Cinematic Universe from Phases 1 to 4, so just beware when going into this overall video, and you can check out my thoughts on the first trailer of Quantumania that was released a couple of months ago now, and I'll leave some links within the description. So then, when looking at this second trailer, I think overall it was better than the first, definitely giving us much more of an idea of the main story, where we clearly established Kang the Conqueror as the main villain that Scott will be battling. We knew this already, given the fact that Kang was confirmed as the primary threat for Phase 5 overall and also Phase 6, when of course we come to the Avengers movie, which in itself is titled The Kang Dynasty. And from the trailer it seems, very much in the beginning, that Scott and Kang have struck some sort of bargain where Kang offers him time, which we presume is the time that Scott lost with his daughter Cassie when he entered the Quantum Realm in the end credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp during a blip from Infinity War. We did of course have that very emotional moment when he returned back in Avengers Endgame, when his world was turned completely upside down. The return in offer, it seems, is that Scott will help Kang in some sense start or rebuild his dynasty. We saw this in certain shots where we see Kang's fleet of ships assembling. So for sure, whatever happens, this movie will very much have some sort of effect on the upcoming Avengers film. And we do get some striking shots of Ant-Man during this trailer where we see him very much dive into this octopus-like group of organisms that we see here. We have another great shot of him running alongside his giant form with other clones of himself, with the giant version then disintegrating. And as this is the Quantum Realm, we're going to get all sorts of weird and very dazzling shots and visuals and concepts, very much similar to what we saw with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And I think this setting overall allows the movie to be much more expansive and much more larger in its scale than what we saw with the previous two Ant-Man movies. And visually, I think overall it does look very good. Now there is the concern that the movie will feel much more like an Avengers setup rather than a solo Ant-Man installment. And overall, I'm still not convinced by Jonathan Majors as Kang, or indeed the choice of Kang as a villain. He's not really a character that truly excites me in the same way as the looks of Thanos or Galactus. But in terms of this trailer, I think this is the best that we've seen in terms of his overall look and his impact. He certainly seems far more of an imposing character than the version that we got at the Loki season finale. And despite the references within that series about variants, I think this film again is going to have to really do a good job in the first half of the film in really establishing the variants and different versions of characters. And we had that other shot where we see a cloning of Ant-Man himself halfway through. Now it can easily be argued that the final confrontations, it seems, that we see between Scott and Kang, that Kang will ultimately survive or make any comeback from any loss or deficit because he will pop up later on within the Avengers movie. So some people have stated that this is somewhat showing too much in terms of the story, but I do believe there will be a few twists and turns as we come towards the final climax. We do ask the question, what exactly does Kang need time for? Is he trapped within the Quantum Realm and does he need Scott's help to free him to begin his dynasty? We will of course get further references to the multiverse implications. We've already seen this, as I mentioned before, in the first season of Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and of course Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And this is why I've said previously that Quantumania will not only be the biggest Ant-Man movie, but also perhaps the most significant movie within Phase 5 before we get to Avengers Kang Dynasty. Now we finally did get a first look of the famous comic book character from Marvel, MODOK, which for anybody who doesn't know is an abbreviation for mental organism designed only for killing. The character himself was created way back in 1967, originally a technician named George Tarleton who experimented on himself with advanced mutagenics, which caused him to become disfigured, and he needs to exist within a hoverchair. And I remember really seeing him first from the Iron Man animated series way back in the 1990s. Now from the shots that we see here, you might be able to recognise that the MCU version of the character has been portrayed by Corey Stoll, who played Darren Cross, Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man movie. Now to be honest, I wasn't too convinced by the look that we saw when we saw the MODOK in his more human form, and then later on in this shot where we see him much more in his more metallic form. But admittedly, MODOK is a difficult character to pull off in live action, even in this current phase of superhero movies, amidst all of the characters that Marvel has translated successfully to live screen already. But that aside, I think Quantumania looks to promise plenty of big stakes and very likely emotional drama, with it presumably being the third and final Ant-Man movie within the franchise. Will it be the most successful Phase movie within 2023? Personally, I still believe that honour will go to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but all signs are pointing to Quantumania definitely being a big movie this year, and for Marvel, this trailer definitely got me more interested in the movie and perhaps Phase 5 and where the universe goes forward in the future. So those are my overall thoughts and quick feelings on the second trailer released for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you further excited for this film? Do you think it will somehow drop the ball and maybe not give us those exciting moments to look forward to within Phase 5? Or do you think this could be the start of a really exciting phase, and will it be a major improvement over what we saw within Marvel's Phase 4? Let me know in the comments, and of course when the movie releases next month I will provide both non-spoiler and spoiler reviews and also provide commentary on how well it does at the box office, so look out for all that coverage in the future. And if you have any other suggestions regarding any movies or television series or any other topics within the entertainment industry that you'd like to see me cover, then also let me know in the comments and I will see if I can provide further commentary for you on those subjects within the future. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves and I will see you very, very soon.